All right, okay. Thank you. Good evening once again. Thank you all for registering and attending this one-week national level online faculty development program, outcome-based education, and application of generative AI in teaching and research, organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell and the exam cells of St. John Technical and Educational Campus, Palghar, in association with IPSR Solutions Limited. Today, we would like to welcome Dr. Suresh Namboothiri, who is the Director of Espoir Technologies and IPSR Solutions Limited. He will be the resource person for today. And we would also like to welcome Ms. Priya Chasia, HOD Commerce, St. John College of Humanities and Sciences. And we would like to welcome all the FDP resource persons, managers, directors, principals, vice principals, representatives from management, HODs, IQAC coordinators, and all faculty members. Now, about this FDP, this is a one-week FDP program with live sessions from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We are on actually the third day of the FDP. There is no fee for this FDP. All the participants will receive the LMS access, the video recordings for all the days, and permission to download your FDP completion certificate. The procedure for receiving the certificate will be informed to you towards the end of the FDP. Now, if you are unable to attend any of the live sessions, they will be available in the LMS. Now, we have shared the LMS access details through email to those who have registered till afternoon today. Those who have registered after that will receive the LMS details mails by tomorrow. If you have any trouble in attending the WebEx online session, you can also join the YouTube live session, the link of which I've already put in the chat. Now, my name is Sujin Jacob George. I'm working as Global Relations Manager with IPSR Solutions Limited, and I will be the event moderator. Now, if before we go into the session, could you all please turn on your videos? We would like to take a screenshot for our documentation purpose. All right, I think we will proceed. You can turn off your videos. You don't need to keep it on. Thank you. Today's session is going to be, the topic is going to be underlying threads of OBE, generative AI in teaching. Now, this is going to be taken by Dr. Suresh Namboothiri, who is the director at IPSR Solutions Limited and Espoir Technologies. Now, Dr. Suresh Namboothiri is a product design specialist with over 30 years of industry experience and has contributed to automobiles, consumer electronics, home appliances, and telecommunications. Formerly the COO of Tata Motors, he played a key role in developing India's first car, the Indica, and has designed over 200 products, many pioneering in India. He's a seasoned interviewer for senior engineering and management roles. He has assessed over 12,000 candidates, driving his research into Indian engineering education, collaborating with global industry experts and Ivy League universities. He led a pan-India ethnographic study to identify systemic challenges and solutions. Currently, as director at IPSR Solutions Limited and Espoir Technologies Pune, he mentors institutions like IITs and NITs, focusing on employability, outcome-based education, design thinking, and AI in education. He's a researcher, educator, and corporate consultant. He actively engages in faculty development and industry academia collaborations. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sujin, and good evening to all. So today our session is titled Underlying Threads of OBE. So normally when in our day-to-day work in colleges, we do not think why this OBE is. We normally think that OBE is something put on our head. And our perspective or our approach to OBE in many institutions I have seen, it is not that positive. So today, what we are going to discuss is why we have to use OBE, or why our government put OBE as a mandatory thing. So we are going to speak about that, and while speaking, I am going to share you a lot of anecdotes, lot of stories, and lot of information. So that is what you are going to carry from this particular session. And before I start, let me tell you, I am going to take 3 sessions in this particular program. One today, that is Underlying Threads of OBE. And on Tuesday, I will be taking the session on artificial intelligence for high impact research. And the next day on the validatory function, validatory session, I will be taking 1 more hour, that is about employability in this AI era. These are the three areas, and since I am planning these three, there will be some interference or interference. Therefore, my request is the signal clear? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, fine. So there will, since these 3 days, 3 sessions, what I am going to speak. It may get interfere between these three. Therefore, my request is you don't miss any of this session. So today it is Underlying Threads of OBE, and on Tuesday it is going to be artificial intelligence for high impact research, and the next day, as part of the validatory function, there will be 1 hour. I am going to speak about employability at this AI era. So, today's session, and one thing I want to guarantee you is that everything what you are going to hear, like my gray hair, whatever experiences I have gained, I am going to share those experiences with you. So almost every point I am going to speak to you with the right examples and with the right quotations, and with the right citations. Therefore, therefore, I will do my best to make sure that you will have something to carry home. So let me start with by sharing my slides. We will start from there. See, there is a very big disconnect. This disconnect is starting from the concept itself. You must be feeling that our entire higher education system in India, it is with an assumption that every student is going to become a researcher. Now, you are all faculty members, you with a decade or so many years of experience. You just tell me, when you stand there in front of class, looking at the eyes of each and every student, how many of them are actually going to be researchers? Or how many of them can actually become researchers? You need to understand, even if our top officials, they do not understand, 99.99 percentage of the students coming to our colleges, or their parents sending them to our colleges with an objective of they building a career. Even we need to understand employability is most important thing. We need to understand that research is also an employability. Employ means we can make use of that person or he can use his abilities for something. That is what the meaning of the English word employ. Therefore, research is also an employment. Therefore, important thing about any education system is to make students employable. And a passive researcher, a person with an AK-47 on his head and telling that you do research, that person is not going to become researcher. A researcher can, a person can become a researcher only when we kindle that curiosity, we kindle that interest in a particular subject, when that is induced to that person and he is really taking pride about the subject in which he is studying, and the person who is actually finding value in the subject he is studying, a person who is actually prioritize that particular discipline as part of his day-to-day work and life, then that person, such people can become will become curious, and inside their brain these new ideas develop. These new ideas will come out in various ways. It can be in the form of a theory, it can be in the form of a product, it can be in the form of a process, or it can be in the form of a story. It will come out. Then these students will become researchers, they will become employable. That should be the objective. Ultimately, whether it is directly, okay, Dr. Farhad, this I have not started the screen, I will show you now. So therefore, this is what actually we are trying to achieve. Now let us see. Let us start from here. Now you will start seeing the screen. This is the first thing is underlying threads of OBE, outcome-based education. The underlying threads of outcome-based education. I have written this outcome-based education like 20th century folks with that background. Do you know what is the reason? The reason is this. Uh, Outcome-based education might be a last opportunity for our country to survive. It is because if we miss this bus, it is going to be very difficult to survive. It is something like a do or die situation. Therefore, I will tell you why and what is the reason. Okay, that was not audible. I will tell you the gist. A person in Hyderabad airport with a lot of pride, he is showing us he is having a smart trolley. He can see so many things with that trolley. Okay, now you saw that one. How much is the happiness and what is the pride? One thing this person has forgot, he has forgotten. And one thing, most people they watch this, they forgot is one thing. He is the only person in that frame. It is Indian. Rest of the thing, everything is Chinese. Now, this is a newspaper cutting for the of the last Deepavali shopping. Now you see that each one of these are all the things we buy. These are all the things they have become inevitable in our life. We postpone other things, and but we go and buy iPhones. We go and buy air conditioners. We go and buy air conditioners. We go and buy TVs. And during my childhood or during my younger days, we used to pay EMI only for buying a home. Now people are buying with the EMI almost everything. And this is the money. Where is it going? Now we need to understand that who all these products, who conceived it, who developed it, who conceived it, who developed it. Are these, how many of these things are actually conceived by an Indian? How many of them are actually developed by an Indian company? Then our things will come very, very clear. Where do we stand? Where do we stand? This is what we are going to speak about when we are speaking about OBE. As a product design specialist, I wanted to tell you that when I am designing one mobile phone like this, please understand there are more than 2 lakh decisions involved in this. When we are designing a mobile phone, more than 2 lakh decision. 2 lakh decision means you just imagine 2 lakh Y joins. Y joins in the sense you are coming to a position, you have to take a decision. You are going in this way, in this way. Both of this decision, it has got its own cost, its own time, it has its own resource allocation. And then you have to take a decision there. For this decision, there are a lot of calculations. So when you are making a phone design, when you are doing some 2 lakh places, you are taking a decision based on various calculations, then you just imagine what type of skills are developed with that. That is what the real skill, what we are missing here. That is the type of the experiences we are giving to China. It is not only the money we are giving to China, it is we are putting that experiences to Chinese. And with whatever EMI we pay, Chinese people are getting their bonuses and profits, and they are all becoming billionaires. At that time, we are actually going down, down, down. Let us see how this. Now you see this one. This is a screenshot I have taken from Reddit. It is asking Apple iOS 17 versus Samsung One UI 6 versus Xiaomi HyperOS Control Center. Which is better? Now, let us see here. There are 3 operating systems. We Indians, we claim that we are IT superpower. And there is a course called MCA. There is a course called B.Tech Computer Science. These are all taught across India. In the beginning itself, there is one particular paper called Operating System Design. So I wanted to tell you that in India's 144 crore people, I just wanted to tell you that minimum 60 lakh people would have studied operating system design. Then why we do not have an operating system of our own? This is a question. Why we do not have an operating system of our own? When uh, when Bombay IIT started in computer science department in 1978 and started B.Tech computer science in 1980. IIT Kanpur had one of the world's best IBM workstation in 1965. And the question here is why we are not able to develop anything out of it. After 1978 and 1980, more than 2000 breakthrough innovations happened in information technology, and none of these innovations are actually coming from India. And we say that we are IT superpower. This is a classic example that it is not funding, it is not the brilliant mind. Because if you see like that, last 20 to last 40 years, India's best minds were channeled to IT. India's best infrastructure was channeled to IT. India's top companies were totally working in IT. Then what did we do in IT? The point here we need to understand is even AI came from America. After that, we are all into AI. Before that, where was AI? Why we didn't get an idea of AI? That is the question here. That is the question. I really believe Bharat Mata deserves better. Bharat Mata deserves better. This is not the type of the treatment we should be giving to our country. Where is the problem? I am going to speak about that here. Now, this is a Wikipedia page. You can go and see list of inventors. List of inventors. When you see that, you will see that one. More than 1,300 entries are there with the country. Go there and see. As a patriotic Indian, go there and see how many Indian entries are there in this. You will see only 4. Only 4. Only 4. Why? These 4 started from Sushruta, who invented surgery. After independence, there is nobody. This is what the innovation track record what we have. Why are we in this particular situation? You see this particular crowd. You know what is this crowd? This crowd is the crowd. They were standing in Bandra Kurla complex there in America. No, in Bombay. They are all standing with 1.6 lakh rupees in their pocket overnight for buying iPhone. This was for the iPhone 16. Now, when it became iPhone 17, you see what happened. From iPhone 16, we were standing patiently. When it came to iPhone 17, we started fighting for buying first. Please take my 1.5 lakh rupees first and give me phone. Nobody is giving their iPhone as a ration. Nobody is giving free distribution of iPhone. Individually, everyone standing there with 1.6 lakh rupees in pocket. Their request is that take my 1.6 lakh rupees first. They are fighting for that. They are fighting for that. We need to think. We need to think that why we need to think. We need to think when we need to think that why we are not able to develop products other countries crave for. We are not able to develop products other countries crave for. Other countries are able to develop products we are crave for. We are crave for. Therefore, that is the ability. When we are speaking about that is the ability. Now, let me tell you other thing. Here there is a news. Tamil Nadu, over 200 engineering colleges fill just 10% of seats. 37 colleges didn't get even one admission. You know what? Nobody knows the definition of engineering. There are 21 approved definitions of engineering, but nobody knows. Even engineering college people, very few people know. But everybody knows one thing, that engineering doesn't have value. That is what. Now, whatever these people they were fighting for, that is a result of engineering. Now, when we are speaking about this iPhone, let me tell you two things. One thing is that iPhone, you go to Amazon.in. You go to Amazon.in. You see that what is the price of iPhone 17 Pro? It is coming to some 1.7 lakh rupees. 1.7 lakh. You know, there is one American company, material science company, they took the iPhone 17 Pro, they pulverized it, they made it a powder for analysis, material analysis. In their material analysis, they came to the conclusion that means how much glass, how much aluminum, how much molybdenum, how much copper, how much steel, how much aluminum, everything they checked. Total cost of material is $1.1. That is about 95 rupees. That means 95 rupees worth of material making into 1.7 lakh rupees product is the engineering. That is the engineering. But which engineering college is teaching this? Which engineering college is teaching this? Converting, transferring, transferring 95 rupees worth of raw material to something which is actually, which is people are fighting to buy at 1.7 lakh rupees. That is what engineering. Now you tell me whether engineering doesn't have demand, or we don't understand engineering, or we don't teach engineering. This is what the point we need to understand here. It is not the problem of engineering. It is the problem in which we teach engineering. I will tell you, I am a person with this many decades of experience in engineering. I wanted to tell you that in India, even IITs are not teaching engineering. They are all teaching one applied science in the name of in the name of engineering. This is what I have many things to speak, but because of time limitation, let me go ahead. And it is not in engineering alone. I have taken iPhone example as an iPhone example because it is a common. But you see, take any subject. You take Bollywood cinema, you take Tamil cinema, you take management, you take applied sciences, you take health sciences, you take law and humanities, you take a banking system, you take anything and everything. Everything in India is copied. We have stopped become original. Our Arsha Bharata, our ancient Indian educational system, all these things stopped somewhere. All those things stopped somewhere. What is happening here is cognitive decline. You take it recently in a newspaper I read, it was about Malayalam movie, and they said like that all the successful and best, most celebrated Malayalam movies, everything is copied. And this is what happening in everything. You take one A4 size sheet paper, you sit at the place you are sitting now, look around, make a list of 100 items you can see, and make a thing that who conceived it and who developed it. I will tell you, it is very rare to see that one Indian developed an Indian thing. This is what, as a patriotic Indian, we need to understand. We are actually going down in our cognitive abilities. Why such a thing happened? Why is it happening? How we can stop it? That is what we need to speak here. It even affects our ability to protect our motherland. Every citizen's job is to protect our motherland. Now let us see this one. Now let us see our thing. We are depending on other countries to protect our country. I am making this one. You can take a photograph of this. You search on internet, search everywhere. We tell Indian name Sudarshan Chakra. It is original important name is S-400 Triumph missile system Russia. BrahMos P-800 Onyx missile system Russia. Bhishma T-90S tank Russia. Ajaya T-72 M1 tank Russia. Vajra K-9 Thunder self-propelled howitzer South Korea. Sarath BMP-2 infantry fighting vehicle Russia. Now this is what when we are going to, this is a list is endless, means ultimately because of our inability of the last 100 200 years, because of the cognitive decline happening, even it is difficult to protect our own motherland because of our own incapabilities. Who is responsible for this? How we made this particular system? This is what we are going to speak. How we can change the system. And now let me show you here one thing. I do not know whether you can read, but I will read this. An iron bar is worth $5. Iron bar is worth $5. Turn it into a horseshoe, make it worth $50. Craft it into needles and it jumps into 5,000. But forge it into a precision spring for luxury watches and that same iron bar becomes worth $5 lakh. Means, I will tell you another example. You know, near Mangalore, there is a place called Kudiramukh. The name Kudiramukh came because there were mountains with the shape of Kudira, horse, Kudira face. It is a very high iron ore, very good iron ore. You know, now if you go there, mountains are not there. Entire iron ore went to China at 40 paisa per kg. And when it is coming back as part from China to here, it will go to 4,000 and 5,000 rupees per kg. This is what we do with what we have. That is what our value. Your value is determined by what you make of yourself with what is available to you. Means your value is determined by what you make of yourself with what is available to you. This is what a hard point. If we do not know, India is a country with so much of raw material. India is a country with so much of brilliant people. These are all raw. How are we going to change this thing to finished product? That is what our capability. Actually, this is what actually each one of us must be doing. And this must be the real objective of education. Our objective of education is like this. It is not the fake attainment calculations. Unless we improve the quality, even it is not the fake attainment calculation. It is not. I am going to speak about everything here now. We need to understand that. We need to understand that there is an objective. And what is that objective? How we have to do this? Now, I am going to speak about one important variable. You forget me. You forget this talk, but don't forget this slide. Don't forget this slide. India's trade, our imports are high skill, high value item. Finished engineering goods, what you have seen like a iPhone. Similarly, from 1990 beginning, whatever we imported, everything was with the computer. We bought it. And what are our exports? Our exports are low skill items. Whatever Infosys, TCS and all exporting, they are all low skill software. It is not a patented software. They are only doing the workshop type of work. And that is the work they cannot demand a premium charge. 95 rupees item, raw material item, iPhone can charge a premium at 1.7 lakh. At the same time, Infosys cannot charge a premium rate for the low skill services what they are doing. That is the type of the export we have to do. What is the type of the import we get? All computer software, computer hardware, important pharmaceutical, everything high value. This This is what the disparity in our trade. We are always going and we are always we have become a begging country. We have become a begging country. If you have seen that 2 months ago, Zelensky went to White House. There, Donald Trump asked Zelensky, what cards do you have? Do you know what is the poker language? What cards do you have? Means what is the negotiating ability you have? Similarly, when we are seeing from our country, what is the negotiating ability? In this nuclear world, negotiation ability is coming from your capacity, your intellectual capability, your technological strength. A country which is importing chips, importing technology, importing everything, and paying incentive to bring their factories here, we do not have that type of a negotiation capacity. How we came to this particular situation? This is what we need to really see. All this situation is directly linked to our levels on Bloom's taxonomy. This is what the point I wanted to tell you. Take a screenshot of this. We came to this situation because of our levels on Bloom's taxonomy. Now let us see where do we actually stand in Bloom's taxonomy, where our graduates stand. Where our graduate stands on Bloom's taxonomy. Here, this is a result of an all India survey. All India survey conducted. Please take a screenshot of this or take a photograph of this. 94% of our graduates are confused graduates. For example, after completing 4 years of B.Tech mechanical engineering, they are not interested even in one subject in mechanical engineering. 94%. These people, they are creating law and order situation across India in every kitchen, every dining room, every drawing room. They are all fighting with the parents. They want to go to Germany. They want to go to America for higher studies. What they are saying is that Indian education system was bad, so they could not study anything. They will go abroad to Germany and they go and they have to study. They will study. Within 2 years, a miracle will happen and they are all going to become Sundar Pichai, Satya Nadella and all. This is what they say. And almost in every house it is fighting. It is really fighting. They are children. These engineering graduates are telling that you sell home, you sell your shop, you sell your land. I want to go. This is what happening there. This is what the result of 94% of people in the lowest level of Bloom's taxonomy. And they don't like engineering. They tell their cousins and sisters and friends and everybody telling that engineering is not good. Means the problem is with engineering, problem is not with them, problem is not with the system, problem is with the engineering. They go and say engineering is not good. Now you come to 3.7, that is Bloom's understanding level. That is the second level. There you will see that some people, at least one or two subject, they can speak in their own words, and this is the type of the people recruited by our mass recruiters. Now with the AI that is stopping, but this is the place, this is the type of people are recruited by this top mass recruiters. And they are in the Bloom's understanding level. That is the second level. They are only 3.7%. Now let us go one more level up. That is a Bloom's cognitive. That is a Bloom's cognitive. This apply level. Apply level in the sense you understand something from here, and then you can use it productively in some other place. This is the type of the thing. They are the best people you can get in India, and they are only 1.5 percentage of the total population. And this 1.5 percentage is actually the best you can get in India, as I was telling. And they, most of them won't stay in India. They go. Now think about higher order thinking. That is analyze, evaluate, create. This is a higher order thinking. You know one important thing. Go back to Wikipedia. There is a page called gifted people. This gifted people, they say that in every demography, there is 1.5 percentage of people are gifted people. Means if a person can do good calculation without even learning mathematics, if a girl who can do very good physics related thing without even studying physics, these people are all gifted people. There is 1.5 percentage. But when we are coming to higher order thinking here, even we are not able to keep the gifted people in their line. We have got only 0.8 percentage in the total higher order thinking. Total higher order thinking, that is analyze, evaluate, create. Just imagine you take 100 students, just to see how many of them are really doing a creative thing in that particular domain. There you will see that. There you will see that. How many of them actually? We are actually chasing away people. Chasing away means we don't value a person's giftedness, and we do not have a system to protect that particular thing. Okay, my objective is not to rant. My objective is to tell solution. Okay, what to do. This has got a serious implication in graduate attributes. You know that when a person joining a graduate program, what he or she is going to learn, it is not what is in the question paper. This is a graduate attributes. You know, there are NPS graduate attribute, UGC graduate attributes. These graduate attributes are the thing. It is a must. If we are not giving them the opportunity to gain graduate attribute through the program, then the system is cheating the parents, cheating the students. Graduate attribute is not gone to them. Now, we will see like that maximum number of people getting anything of graduate attribute in our system is 1.5 percentage. If there is any other calculation, these are all fabricated calculation based on wrong definition of Bloom's taxonomy. Now let me show you this. Let us see why foreign university syllabi and similar infrastructure don't produce the same result in India. Nowadays, syllabuses are there online. The courses are there online. Why the same syllabus? Why the same syllabus and most important infrastructure don't produce the same result in India? This is the question. You must think that not every institution in India is poor. As far as I know, IIT Hyderabad has got 1,100 crore rupees in the bank for research. Similarly, IIT Bombay has got. Similarly, many institutions, they have got 1,000 crore in research. But you know something important thing about research? There is a research about research. It says that only 2 to 3% of research actually requires so much of funding. Rest of the thing require thinking. Why are we not in thinking? That is the main thing. If you have to do a mathematics theory, mathematics research, you need only a paper and pencil. You don't need any infrastructure. If you are to develop a management theory, if you are to develop something, most of the thing in computer, you need only a PC. What is that big infrastructure required? And if that infrastructure and fundings are so big, why are we not able to develop good things in our languages, good stories in our stories from our culture? We need to understand that there is the computer language called Hadoop. Hadoop was developed by a housewife in her kitchen. You know that Hadoop emblem, it is an elephant emblem, elephant symbol of Hadoop that she made only to keep her son without crying while creating Hadoop. That is what that elephant. Similarly, Python. Python is developed by one person without any funding. Similarly, you see, there are so much of, you can go to ChatGPT, you can go to Google, you can search. There are thousands of invention came from institutions without funding. Our question, I will tell you one classic example. Few years ago, I was in Singapore. I went to one of the top universities there. One of my Chinese professor friend, he was having dinner with me. He told me one incident. He was telling me that he was part of the particular team. They took one Indian team came from here, academicians, to show around their university. He was telling that whenever they enter to a lab or something, all Indian people say that, wow, what an infrastructure, what an infrastructure. In the end, this Chinese professor told me that these people have got a thinking that infrastructure will give everything to you. And he told that when we started this university, we didn't have anything. We build with our thinking, we build with our innovation. It is not that somebody showered money on us and then we did it. Then this Chinese professor told me that what they don't have is mental infrastructure. So what is that mental infrastructure? Means when your ability to think, your ability to see through something which is invisible to others, you are seeing that. This is what is required for our country, because we are in a situation that we need to develop many solutions for our. Once I was flying from Amsterdam to Bombay. One Finland person was sitting next to me, and he started speaking to me, and he wanted to know what I was doing. I told that I am a car designer or a product design specialist, and I came to education by thinking that this is the way I can return back to the society something, because there are so many things missing here. And then he told me something. Why can't Indians solve India's problems? If Indians start solving India's problems, next 100 years, Nobel Prizes won't go outside India. Just to see this. If Indians start solving India's problems, next 100 years, Nobel Prize won't go outside India. Because those are the problems we have, and those are the issues we need to investigate. Now, go and see each and every top institutions here. What is the type of research they are doing? Many of the research, what is happening is becoming the coolies of some foreign professors. We are actually going for an appreciation from a foreign journal. Now, for most of the educational institutions, because of the situations, teachers disappear. Teachers disappear because a teacher is told to produce papers. That is the first job. Second is doing the administrative calculation. That is the second job. then where is the time for teaching? So teacher, guru disappeared. So in such a situation, what is to be done? See, this is a newspaper cutting I have taken. This is a newspaper cutting I have taken. Armed with knowledge, quizards from 32,000 schools shatter barriers. I do not know what is knowledge. Even we have come to a situation that we forgot what is knowledge. In a quiz, most of the questions are from Bloom's taxonomy remembering level. It is question answer, and whether that is knowledge. So what is knowledge and how it is acquired? Let me tell you some history. You know, Americans have a special character. Always they want to be the top of the world. Now Donald Trump became president with the MAGA, Make America Great Again. You know, early 1950s, that same situation was there in America. How to make America great again was the question. Do you know what was the reason? After Second World War, even though American side won the war, but they got lot of hitting, they got lot of damages from Japanese, from Germans, and they got lot of hit. You know that one. Ultimately, why Truman had to put an atom bomb in Japan, because that was the only way to stop the war. Otherwise, means with that one bomb, some 3 lakh or 4 lakh people died. But if that but with that Second World War stopped, if that was not the thing, it would have continued for 10 more years, like this Ukraine war is going. It would have, and more than 50 lakh people would have died. Therefore, but America got lot of hitting. Therefore, after in the early 1950s, there was great debate in American army went and complained to government at various difficult situation. We never got a solution from our laboratories, academic institutions. Means we didn't get a solution. Means we were in a life and death situation. At that time, we didn't get any solution from these people. So American government decided we have to investigate that. We have to become better in our laboratories. We have to become better in our research and higher educational institutions, in our technologies, in our science. That was the thing. At that time, Russia launched Sputnik. Means Americans never thought that Russians will be able to launch. At the same time, Britain, France, Australia, Korea, they were all started developing technologies. Americans started feeling that they are actually going down. That was the situation. American government appointed a committee with Benjamin Bloom as the chairman to investigate the situation and submit a report what to do with the education situation. We have to understand that it is not that Bloom's taxonomy, one fine day Benjamin Bloom got up and he wrote a taxonomy and published it in 1956. No. This particular committee was established in 1954 and they were given 2 years time. Within these 2 years, they submitted this and taxonomy for cognitive domain and affective domain cognitive domain was part of it. They mentioned about affective and psychomotor domain. So it became, actually Bloom's taxonomy's origination is from MAGA. That is how to make America great again. So that was the thing. Do you know what was the result of this Bloom's taxonomy cognitive domain? And before that, let me tell you one. But Bloom's is a very, very lucky person, Benjamin Bloom, because Bloom's cognitive domain taxonomy was, Bloom is from Chicago. In 1948 in Chicago, there was a cognitive psychologist conference And in that conference, somebody presented this as a paper. He copied it and put it here, and this has become Benjamin Bloom's taxonomy. He become very famous all over the world. Here you know that you spend so much of time and write a paper, your name won't even come because it will get rejected because of AI content or whatever it is. Nowadays, Turnitin is the thing you cannot believe. Turnitin is the thing you cannot believe. Even if you write on your own and you go and give, it will show that 72% AI, that 72% AI in that. And that is a way things are going. Okay, we are coming back to this. This 1956, this Benjamin Bloom committee submitted this report. And do you know what was the result? It is very interesting. Based on the 1956 Bloom's taxonomies thing, in 1958, American government promulgated one law. It is called Americans Defense Educational Act 1958. National Defense Educational Act 1958. It is not about defense education. It is not about Army, Navy, Air Force. It is declaring that education is the first line of defense. It is declaring that education is the first line of defense. How many of us in education, how many educational institutions understand that education is the first line of defense? In this world, if there was proper education, the Americans must be fighting for buying an iPhone, which is actually conceived and developed in India. It is not iPhone. It can be Gupta phone. It can be Nair phone. It can be any phone like that. Why it is not? This is what in this modern nuclear world, our capability is our ability to make our own chips, our ability to design our own technologies, our ability to own technologies, our ability. You see this, if we have to get a F-16, if we have to get high-end chips of NVIDIA, we need American government approval. Why should we get scared when American government is increasing tariff? In my opinion, it is an insult on each patriotic Indian. It's an insult. Means we are behaving in such a way that our life is depending upon Trump's tariff. Why can't we create products in such a way that Americans should crave for our products? Why that is not happening? This is what we have to see from the OBE point of view. So in 1956, Bloom's taxonomy was like this: knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, evaluation. Now you understood that in 1956, what was the condition, and it is actually something like a war type of situation created Bloom's taxonomy. It is not anybody's fun. It's a requirement. And most importantly, we have to say that Bloom's taxonomy is not a framework for setting question paper. If anybody is thinking Bloom's taxonomy is for setting question paper, I would like to say that he is more anti-national than Pakistanis and Chinese and Maoist. He is more anti-national because Bloom's taxonomy is level of attainment. Cognitive Bloom's taxonomy is level of attainment. If a person has to reach a certain level, whether that person is actually the level of attainment, So therefore, if anybody who speaks that Bloom's taxonomy is for setting a question paper, at least mentally give a slap on his or her face. Because that is what the requirement for this country. We cannot afford that. We cannot afford fabricating attainment calculations. We cannot afford, because we need to develop, especially with the AI situation. You must be knowing that. I am going to speak about that on next, I think, next. I am going to speak about that on next Wednesday. But let me tell you one thing. With the artificial intelligence, generative artificial intelligence, entire job of the cognitive domain of Bloom's taxonomy has gone. With the earlier artificial intelligence, only the remembering and understanding level of jobs are gone. Now, all the job because the cognitive side is totally taken away by generative AI. And most of the educational institutions, blindly they are teaching AI tools in syllabus by saying that we are making our students AI literate. These institutions do not think that if an AI can be taught in a class, and if student can do, that is of no use. Because if AI can do this, company will do it automatically with that AI agent. This student is not required there. What is actually required is go beyond AI. We have to make them capable of doing things, complementing and going beyond AI. No educational institution is thinking in that line. This is dangerous. This is dangerous in the sense it can lead to massive job loss and very big social unrest. Therefore, we have to be preparing that our syllabuses and our educational approaches should be going beyond that. We have to make, I am going to speak about that. How to do. Okay, that is what we are coming to. Now see this one. How? In 2001, you know that there is a revised Bloom's taxonomy. Why did they revise? What was the need of revising Bloom's taxonomy? Whether somebody felt like revising, it is not. Everything happening in this world is with compulsion. You have to understand that from 1985-87 onwards, there was an IT revolution. IT came and IT started automating many of the human work, especially in the level of understanding and remembering level of human work, and most of the imitation and replication type of the manual work started automation. So therefore, what happened? What happened exactly in this 1985 to 1999 2000 is that because of IT, because of automation, because of robotics of that time, many people lost job. Then the issue came that what is this Bloom's taxonomy and how it is to be improved. That is the reason a committee, they revised Bloom's taxonomy in this way: remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, creating. And do you know that what is happening here in India? We want to simplify everything and we want to teach only half of everything. Therefore, here it is taught that from the 1950s is Bloom's taxonomy to 2001 Bloom's taxonomy. Only difference is that synthesizing, evaluation becoming creation. We changed, and all levels become verb. This is what people say. And knowledge become remembering. This is what people say. This is completely wrong. Full bullshit. It is completely wrong. That is not the thing of revised Bloom's taxonomy. I will tell you what is the revised Bloom's taxonomy. Unless we understand the soul of that revised Bloom's taxonomy, we are not going to contribute anything. We are not going to do anything at all. Actually, the revised Bloom's taxonomy, what they said is like that: knowledge cannot be in one level. There is a concept called depth of knowledge. There is a concept called depth of knowledge. You cannot tell remembering in one flat, understanding in one flat. They are saying there are layers of knowledge. You are taking class, you are teaching, you know that you teach the same thing, but in front of you, you see layers of knowledge. Where is this layers of knowledge coming? That is what exactly when it is coming to this Bloom's taxonomy in 2001, they told that there are four types of knowledge. Four types of knowledge: factual knowledge, conceptual knowledge, procedural knowledge, and metacognitive knowledge. Factual knowledge means knowledge of terminology, knowledge of specific details and elements. Conceptual knowledge means knowledge of classifications and categories, knowledge of principles and generalizations, knowledge of theories, models, and structures. Procedural knowledge means knowledge of subject-specific skills and algorithms, knowledge of subject-specific techniques and methods, knowledge of criteria for determining when to use appropriate procedures, when to use. Very, very critical. You see that how layers of knowledge going up. And most important thing, which was not in the 1956 Bloom's taxonomy, is the most important part of 2001 Bloom's taxonomy. That is metacognitive knowledge. That is strategic knowledge. Knowledge about cognitive tasks, contextual knowledge, conditional knowledge, self-knowledge. These are all the real thing. I want to tell you that now, see, I have to apologize you because this is a program I normally take for 2 days in quality educational institutions. This 2 days program, I am actually condensing and skipping many things, and I am telling you in a nutshell in 2 hours. Therefore, I am skipping many things here, but let me show you here in this way. These are all the 4 different, these are all the 4 different levels of knowledge, and these I will tell you how we have to use it. Now, if you are a researcher, if you want to contribute to your body of knowledge, if your research should be cited, then your path is here. Your own Bloom's taxonomy cognitive, your path is here. This path we are not speaking here at all. This is a very difficult situation here in India. Means till the last minute, very few people are actually prepared to become a teacher. And our system is not building any curiosity of any subject to our people. The critical thinking and creative thinking is the base, it is a bedrock of research. It is not taught even in research methodology. Idea, exposure, and worldview, it is not there in our system. And language, you know that. You must be knowing, each one of you, you are supposed to write academic paper, and how many of us have the skill to write in such a dense academic language in English? If you are going to try grammar check with Grammarly, Quillbot, or with the ChatGPT or for Gemini, immediately your paper will be put as 93% AI content. Even though idea is yours and you worked months together for that, ultimately it is sacrificed at the place of AI content. Means language is not built, from where are we going to create very good research? So here the thing is, this is the path for making a good research here. Now let me show you exactly what is that. Right from right from you take any definition of education, any definition, right from Plato, Socrates, Aristotle, to Swami Vivekananda, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. You take any definition of education that can be deduced to one thing of Bloom's taxonomy. All education is actually raising students from the lower level of from Bloom's taxonomy to higher level of Bloom's taxonomy. Please, I repeat, please write it down. The objective of every educational theory, educational quotation, it is actually to raise students from the lower level of Bloom's taxonomy to the higher level of Bloom's taxonomy, taking them, remembering, to understanding, to applying, to analyzing, to evaluating, and creating. That is what the thing. We are raising students, we are lifting students. So on cognitive domain of Bloom's taxonomy, actual thing is what to do. I am going to show you here how to raise students. This is the secret. This is a secret, because you are going through NAC, you are going through OBE, you are going through NIRF, you are going through many things, but nobody is telling you how to raise students through Bloom's taxonomy. They are all telling you set question paper, that's all. They are not telling the secret of the major universities. I will show you tomorrow. You know that Bajaj Auto Rickshaw. Bajaj Auto Rickshaw is one of the most simple vehicle available on the road. At the same time, Bajaj Auto Rickshaw is one of the highly engineered product in the world, mobile product in the world. Almost all technology of Mangalyaan itself is used in Bajaj Auto Rickshaw. Because make it small, make it cheaper, make it safer, whatever it may. This is the type. That is the reason many companies in India tried to emulate Bajaj Auto Rickshaw and they all failed, because things are in the process. Process is not revealed. Process is not understood. Process is not seen. The ability is to see invisible thing. That is not done. Therefore, the top universities building only we see. We see only their building. We see only their computer. We don't see what is the real underlying things happening there. A house become a home when there is love inside. See, I am a design engineer. I can produce anything. But one thing, people ask me, why am I God fearing? Why I believe in God? I tell them that I can create a human body, but I do not know how to give life to that. I do not know how to give life to that unless another person inventing a method to give life to something. That day I will become atheist. That day I will stop believing in God. Till that time I believe. Similar way, this is what the secret of every top university, the underlying, why Stanford is becoming Stanford, Oxford is becoming Oxford, Columbia is becoming Columbia. It is because they have got this particular thing, underlying thing. I am going to tell you the secret here. This is the secret nobody will tell you. This is what, first of all, to take students from remember stage to comprehension stage, what you actually require is literacy to construct insights. If students do not have the language, they don't have the canvas to draw picture. They need literacy to construct their insight. Why the word construct is used? It is based on Lev Vygotsky's theorem, social cognitive constructivism. You are teaching in a class of 60 students. You are one person speaking to 60 students. All 60 students are constructing their own knowledge based on their background, their prejudice mind. They're thinking about you. They're thinking about their situation. They are going to construct their own knowledge. That is what 60 students are not learning in the same way. That is what students, if any student has to come from, remember to understanding level, what they required is literacy for constructing insight. That is not here. That our society, you see that one, our own homes, when a student sitting, when a student, when a student sit and reads something, the parents will tell, stop reading, you read science. And what is there in the science book? Is there any story? Is there any insight? No, it is only the calculation. So therefore, we are not building language skills. Then we cannot develop any insight. We remain only this. So the first level is we require literacy for constructing insights. Now, if any student has to come from understanding levels to apply level, what they require is critical and creative thinking. If we don't put this in the system, students are not going to reach there. That is the reason students are not reaching there. So now the third thing, if a student has to go to higher order thinking, what they require. If they require are idea exposure and world view. Idea exposure and world view. You cannot get idea unless you have much ideas. It is a very good quotation by Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple Computer. He is considered as the most creative CEO the world has ever seen. There is a definition of creativity of him. Creativity is nothing but rearranging what we already know. If a person has got more things, if a person has got more knowledge, he will have many things to rearrange. It is something like he has got a famous, there is a famous speech of Steve Jobs. You can go to YouTube and search for Steve Jobs' speech at Stanford University. It is a very famous speech, connecting the dots. Connecting the dots. So he says like that, if you have met more number of people, if you have more number of life experiences, if you have read more number of books, if you have watched more number of movies, then you will have more exposure, you will have more dots in your brain. Then you can rearrange those dots. If we do not have, if we completely go in one silos, we are all speaking about interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary research. And why are we not able to do interdisciplinary research? Because first thing is that we know only the calculation part of it. We do not have any insight about our subject. We do not have insight and we do not even know the applications of that. Recently, I read that one of the professor was publicly saying like that, if they let the government publish the problems and we will try solution. Now the thing is, if I am becoming a master's degree holder in mechanical engineering and a PhD in mechanical engineering, and if I do not know the problems related to mechanical engineering, then what is my mechanical engineering education? Means it is something like a stone in the water. I am remaining inside the mechanical engineering without even absorbing any of the application of any of the problems this mechanical engineering is trying to solve. This is what the real thing. Actually, I am cutting short my thing here because we have to do many things. So we are coming here when a student enters the college on Bloom's taxonomy, revised Bloom's taxonomy, that person is standing here in this pink area. And if that person has to go for the even to the even to the first level, they should have literacy for constructing insight. You will see the you will see the chart here. Second, if they had to grow to this color, that is yellow color, they need critical and creative thinking. And if they had to go anything beyond, they need idea, exposure, and worldview. Unless we build these things into the system, then students are not going to even show interest. We need to understand that the entire educational system in the world, they are fighting against WhatsApp and Instagram. And classroom sessions should be in such an intensity that they should be forgetting Instagram and WhatsApp, and they should feel like attending the class. Unless we create that particular system, we are going to dogs. Then unless we do that, we are not going to gain anything. All teachers will be forced to do false attainment calculations and make all fabricated things, and everyone will have very big. It is something like in my house, my wife is there, I am there. We both will agree that you look like Aishwarya Rai. I can tell my wife, and she is telling me that, yeah, you look like Salman Khan. Okay, because we both can see, because it is only inside our house. This is the way we all can say that we have got a knack ranking like this, we have got things like this, and we all can say that we are all great. But at the same time, you can see like that what you have seen in that one. Apple iPhone means people are not fighting for an Indian product. People are fighting for some other product with the 1.6 lakh rupees in the pocket. Please take my 1.6 first, and please give me iPhone 17 first. This is the only request, and people are fighting for that. And when are we going to develop a product so that Americans will fight for that? So that Americans will fight for that. We are coming to that one, how to change our system. He is this young man, young handsome man. He is Lev Vygotsky. His learning theories are used across the world. Whether it is North Korea, whether it is America, when it is coming to Lev Vygotsky, they are all pi, because that is a theory. That's a theory. But when you will see only his young and handsome photograph, because he died young and handsome at the age of 38. If you have time, you can go to internet and you can see cognitive rigor matrix, that is CRM, and see many of the things what I speak. You may think that how it can be implemented and all. See, every job has got pluses and minuses. Whatever be the politics, whatever be the situation, but teachers have one very good thing. When you teach in the class, within that four walls, you are the boss, you are the emperor, you are the empress. There you can influence your students. When you influence your students, you are going to be eternal. Why I am telling eternal? Because, see, I am a senior citizen. Even we have got a WhatsApp group of our primary class. When our WhatsApp group, when our batch mates or primary class, we sit together, we say that, do you remember that teacher sitting on the table like that and she said like this? Yes, yeah, we remember. See, that is the memory. There are many people, they come and say like that, I became this because of that teacher. I become this because of that sir. So when you teach in the class, please remember, out of 60 students, out of 120 eyes, there are at least 2 eyes, 6 eyes, 10 eyes. They are craving for your attention. They are craving for your good words, and you can build their life. This type of an opportunity no other profession has got. That is the spirit in which I am sitting here and speaking to you. I cannot go around and teach each and every student in India, but I can speak to faculty members so that so that you will go and speak. I am very sure. I am very sure that you will be able to do this. Now, let us go ahead from here. This is a point I wanted to tell you, that literacy to construct insights, critical and creative thinking, and then idea exposure and worldview. If we don't introduce this, there is no meaning of blaming teachers. If system is not introducing this, we cannot achieve anything. We are not going to raise our students through Bloom's taxonomy. We will continue to be like this. Therefore, when I was speaking this to some of the top educational academics in India, they all told me like this. This is the reason we have given autonomy for many institutions. Now the main problem is that autonomous institutions are not using their autonomy. Autonomous institutions are not using their autonomy. They only want to put some professors to dean and make a controller of examinations, everything. They are not using their autonomy qualitatively. That is the main issue. Now let us go ahead from here. I am going to show you something very special. See, I am going to show you one slide here. The world's poorest countries by GDP per capita. India is the fourth major economy, but we are 102 poorest country in the world. This is what the disparity, because our students are not able to earn. Our students are not able to earn. This is what the disparity. Educational system is very much responsible for that. At the same time, you see here, during Deepavali time, this is what the Times of India advertisement. I have taken a screenshot of I have taken a photocopy of this. Chinese wall is built of products, and we are buying that Chinese wall. This is advertisement of Flipkart. Now, these two things are interlinked because we are not the people making them. Even, you know what, last financial year, India imported more than 72,000 crore rupees worth of phone and computer accessories from China. Accessories. It doesn't require a big research. It doesn't require a big infrastructure. Means if you are listening to me from Coimbatore, there are many infrastructure in Coimbatore that can make. If you are listening to me from Bangalore, in Bangalore this can be done. In Chennai this can be done. But you know one of the very fundamental thing, any mechanical item you take, it is made out of plastics. Now, I don't know how many mechanical engineering staff faculty members are here. Go back and see syllabus. Where is plastic given in the syllabus? Almost everything is in plastic. But where is in plastic in mechanical engineering? You go to any other foreign country, you will immediately see that plastic. And we pay for that. We give employability to Chinese because we don't do that. Now we are coming to situation of AI, artificial intelligence. Now the main situation is not to make America great again. It is make human relevant again. What is the human relevancy? You know what? Yesterday, Gemini released Gemini 3. You know what is happening? You hum a song. Gemini will tell which is that song. Are you getting the capability of that? You hum a song, yesterday's release. Gemini will tell you that which song it is. You put a particular snapshot of that particular song. That is, it is 46th second of this particular song. Which are all the music instruments used? It will tell in at that 46th second which are all the music instrument. So I am going to speak to that one, that employability part, but let me speak to you something from the Bloom's taxonomy part. How to make our students relevant again, because all cognitive work is gone. Almost all replicable, repetitive physical work has gone to AI. I will tell you that since I know the MBA syllabuses, 100% of MBA job has gone. And most of the MBA colleges, they do not know this. They are getting happiness by saying that we included AI tools into syllabus, but why they want? I will tell you an example. See, suppose you are a bus driver. You are going to teach bus driver this one AI tool for GPS, AI tool for crowd managing, and then the situation is coming. Driver is not required. Driver learned these AI tools, but a driver is not required. That is what exact thing happening with the AI. Anything digitized, AI can do. Anything digitized. It can be a movement. It can be a surgery. It can be a music. It can be something of a library. Anything and everything it can do. Then what human is going to do? This is what the situation. As I was telling you earlier, we need to see that how to complement and go beyond AI. That is a real capability we have to see. Now I am going to show you that what exactly is required. This is what coming to this. You know, human being, each one of us are part of three things: head, heart, hand. 3H. Head, heart, hand. These three are put into, unless we put these three, we are not human. We are not human. Whatever we are teaching, Bloom's taxonomy's cognitive domain is only about head. It is not about heart. It is not about hand. You just imagine if somebody is only with something in the brain, what will happen? That person doesn't have a heart. That person doesn't have a hand. This is what have been happening here in India. Means completely we were only going through the Macaulay system, Lord Macaulay system. We follow only that one. First two layers of Bloom's taxonomy, mugging up. All question papers are coming from there, and we can do that. And that type of a job is actually already gone. Now it is going fully gone. So this now, second, you think that if a person has got only heart, only emotional, doesn't have thinking, doesn't have muscle, then what will happen? If a person has got only muscle, no emotion, and no thinking, what will happen? Therefore, a complete human means 3H, head, heart, and hand. This combination, this is what the latest 2024-2025 research says. Such a person can only survive AI era. Such a person can only survive AI era. Other people will just vanish. They don't have employment. Management institutes will vanish. Because MBA, whatever way they teach, they don't have anything to do, because the way in which they continuously teach only the cognitive side, that too in the remembering and understanding side. So what is the real thing in that? Combination of three domains. Combination of three domains of Bloom's taxonomy. That is first thing is I will show you the Bloom's 3 domain. You know the cognitive, that is remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, creating. Cognitive domain is thinking and knowledge processing. Cognitive domain encompasses intellectual abilities, comprehension, and reasoning, guiding the acquisition, organization, and application of knowledge. And this is what we were doing for the last 70, 80 years. Only this. Second thing is affective domain. Affective domain is the most important domain because it is about feeling. You know, I am a product designer. I know that you take 4 cars from 4 companies. Take Hyundai, take Kia, take Mahindra, take Tata Motors, take Maruti Udyog, and take whoever it is. Take these things. Then you will see that people are buying a car because of shape, because shape is linked to emotion. All products purchasing, everything is actually carried by our emotion. Therefore, affective domain, emotion, values, and ethical judgment, that is a very, very important thing. That is the affective domain of Bloom's taxonomy. The affective domain governs emotion, attitudes, and values, influencing motivation, ethical decision making, and social responsibility in learning and interaction. This is what the affective domain. And important other thing is psychomotor domain. You know, many people in India, instead of psychomotor, they only think motor skill. You know, entire our skill India product, our skill India, everything got into low level because instead of psychomotor, they treated it as motor. But they forget to think that why psychomotor in Bloom's taxonomy? Because every action has got a thinking in the back. Unless there is a thinking in the back, our actions will not have precision. Action will not have objective. We are not going to get any feedback from our action. We are not going to improve our action. Then what will happen? It is remaining as imitation. That is the reason skill development everywhere happening, only imitation. No one can build on imitation. Imitation will just remain as the lowest skill unless it is controlled by psych from our cognitive. That is what. This is what the combination of 3, that is cognitive domain, affective domain, and psychomotor domain. This combination. But the point is like this. How are we going to combine this? This is what I am going to show you here. How are we going to combine this? And I am going to show you that how the real education happens in 21st century, in generative AI era. In generative AI era, how education. So my request is that please be attentive. What I am going to tell you here, nobody will tell you exactly how education happens. How education happens, I am going to tell you. This is cognitive domain of Bloom's taxonomy. This is affective domain of Bloom's taxonomy. This is psychomotor domain of Bloom's taxonomy. You know, where education actually starts. In our Bloom's taxonomy, cognitive, they say that it starts from remembering. It is not, education is not starting from remembering. If there is a pre-learning situation, your student is standing here outside the college or outside the class. First thing happening to a student is this: entering into receive of affective. Students should receive whatever you talk. Student should receive whatever you are giving. If the student is not receiving, education stopped then and there. It is a line drawn on water. Whatever you give, it will ripple to you. This is what the first level of education is, making a student receive the knowledge. That student is actually showing a willingness to sit in your class, showing a willingness to listen to you. This is what the first stage, affective receive of affective domain. When a student receive that knowledge only, that student will come to cognitive remember. If a student is not receiving, what remember? So, when a student is actually coming to remember only after the student receives it from you. So, important thing is, the most important thing in this Instagram and WhatsApp era is make a student receive what you teach. A teacher should be the biggest marketeer of that subject. Teacher should make the student get engaged. Students should really crave for that particular thing, what to do for that. This is what the first stage of learning, that is receiving affective. Then it is going to remember. You know, I see in many campuses, people laugh at remember, Bloom's remember. But please understand, remembering is a very important stage of education. Just think, did you learn ABCD up to Z with a logic? Did you ask why A is called A and K is called K? You mucked up, you remembered. Because remembering is a very important part of education. But stopping at remembering is the crime. You should not stop your education at remembering. Remembering is a very important stage of learning. So, once you remember, then a student will start responding. A student will submit assignment. Student may ask a question. Student will have a different facial expression when you tell. So the next level is student will respond. That is affective. Then next thing is, then it is going to affective value. Student will value what you teach. In my opinion, these are the F1, F2, F3, F4. These are the four fundamental stages of learning. And if a teacher succeeds in this, 90% of the teacher's job is over. I repeat, if a teacher succeeds in attracting the student to the subject, making the student remember, and making the student responding to this, and making a student valuing that, then 90% of teachers' job is over. From there onwards, they will be self-propelling. There are so many there are so many avenues to learn. There are videos, they can use ChatGPT, they can do Instagram, they can do anything. Bring them a situation to make the student think that this knowledge is valuable to you. That is the stage in which teachers should bring. So when they get this to that value stage, they come to imitation. Means that is a non-imitation. Imitating a subject with a good backing of knowledge. Means there is a cognitive and affective backing of that. From once they do imitation with the knowledge, then they understand. Now please understand, the learning is not happening, remembering, understanding. No. Before understanding, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stages were there. Our system is forgetting that. before understanding their right. Unless the student goes through those 5 stages, students are not going to understand. When they have that understanding, then their imitation become knowledgeable. With the feedback, they will be able to manipulate. So once they have that knowledge of manipulation, they get the ability for Google Bloom's apply. Now see this one. If a student has to apply something, there are 9 processes behind, and our system is not teaching about that. The autonomous colleges can do that. Autonomous colleges can do this. There are systems for this. Once they apply, they get the confidence. They do planning and organizing that in their life. If a software, if an IT student, he or she, if if an IT student, he or she is getting into computers and software writing, then they will devote every day some time for their own coding. If it is a mechanical engineering person, he will actually spend some time for that. That is what I1 stage, that is that is integration stage. They organize. Once they do that organization, then only they come to analysis. Please understand, a person doing apply won't jump into analysis. Before that, there are other things. Once they get the ability for analysis, they acquire the ability for precision. Why? Analysis is about deconstruction. You are seeing the elemental level. When you are seeing something in elemental level, you will become precise. You will be able to do things precision. From precision, you get then you come to a situation. When you come to a situation where you can get evaluation, person is getting capability for evaluation only at this point. They have to come through this. When they have this ability for evaluation, do you know best thing what is happening? Articulation. How a person is getting the ability for articulation? The person who has got the ability to synthesize things. They gather things from various places. Articulation is something like interdisciplinary research. You gather many things with a particular, from many places with a particular purpose. That is what the articulation. So when you become very good in articulation in what particular thing, that will become your character. That will become your character. You go to a hospital, you go to some of the very dedicated people. They ooze with the energy from that particular domain. That is what they become, the embodiment of that particular domain. That is what the characterization. That is what one of the superior thing of characterization. Only a person who has become character embodiment of that particular domain can do the research, create in cognitive. So if a person is a very good, producing very good research, please understand, sometime before that person has become a good researcher, that he has become the characteristics of a good researcher. Means before that, that person has got built the ability of articulation. It is not that putting an AK-47 on a person's head, he is becoming a good researcher. It is it is by putting AK-47 on the head, nobody is going to become a researcher. Because if a person start creating good research, before that, that person has become character of the researcher. Before that, that person has articulated the situation for research. Then with this creation, that person is becoming naturalization. Means creation is becoming my sixth sense. Creation is becoming my nature. That is what the naturalization. So here you will see that one. What is actual education? education is actually happening from receive of affective to naturalization of psychomotor. Where is cognitive? Cognitive is in the green room and it is in the second fiddle. We are teaching only that. And AI has already taken that cognitive side. What is left in the education here? What is left in the education here? What are we actually doing? Now let me show you another important thing. For that, I will require just 2 minutes. Just a minute, I am searching for a file. Okay, meanwhile, if anyone has got any question, I will answer.
If any of you have any questions to Suresh sir, please put it in the chat and we will.
Can you see the screen?
Yeah, it's coming up.
Okay, see what I had been speaking, that combining this Bloom's three domains and building the ability. This is a particular platform developed for that. This is for the AI era. This is for the generative AI era, and it runs in. It's a platform. It runs parallel to academics, and it can be used by every engineering college and every MBA college. So far, it was given only on invitation. And if any institution is interested in this, we can show details. You can contact IPSR solution.
So are you showing anything more or are you done? So are you going to show anything more?
No.
Are you
So we
done?
can finish it.
All right, okay. I think then we will proceed to the vote of thanks and gist of learning for today. That is going to be delivered by Priya, Ms. Priya Dilip Chaurasia, HOD, Commerce, St. John College of Humanities and Sciences. Over to you, ma'am. Ma'am, are you there?
पहले की तरह स्वास्थ्य विभाग रहेगा। इसके अलावा उन्हें कानून विभाग की भी जिम्मेदारी दी गई है। बिहार बीजेपी के अध्यक्ष दिलीप जायसवाल होंगे उद्योग मंत्री। नितिन नवीन को पथ निर्माण, नगर विकास और आवास विभाग दिया। राम कृपाल यादव को कृषि मंत्रालय, संजय सिंह को श्रम, अरुण प्रसाद को पर्यटन और कला और सुरेंद्र मेहता को एनिमल हस्बेंड्री और फिशरीज डिपार्टमेंट की जिम्मेदारी सौंपी। हेलो। इसके अलावा नारायण प्रसाद को
Yeah, we can.
अति पिछड़ा वर्ग कल्याण,
ऑडिबल सर,
जाति और जनजाति कल्याण विभाग की जिम्मेदारी दी। श्रेयसी सिंह को
Audible, but your video is not there. Is it?
am I audible sir?
Yeah, you're audible.
Good evening to everyone present.
Yeah, proceed.
Today's session offered deep insights into the evolving landscape of outcome-based education and the transformative role of generative AI in teaching and learning. Our distinguished resource person, Dr. Suresh Namboothiri, took us through the underlying threads of OBE and demonstrated how AI can enhance curriculum design, assessment practices, and learner engagement. From today's session, the key takeaways were: the need to shift from content-based teaching to outcome-driven learning, understanding how well-designed outcomes lead to improved employability and learner competencies, real-world applications of generative AI from content creation to assessment analytics, how institutions can integrate AI tools responsibly to make teaching more efficient and impactful, the importance of continuous improvement and data-driven decision-making and academic processes. The session was rich with examples, reflections, and actionable strategies that every educator can implement in the classroom. It truly provided us with a renewed perspective on the teacher's role in a technology-enabled academic ecosystem. Today, we didn't just learn, we reimagined what education can be. On behalf of St. John Technical and Educational Campus and the Internal Quality Assurance Cell, I, Mrs. Priya Chasia, IQAC Coordinator, Head of Department, Bachelor of Commerce, take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt gratitude. First and foremost, my sincere thanks to our esteemed resource person, Dr. Suresh Namboothiri, for enlightening and thought-provoking session. Your expertise, clarity, and practical insights have added immense value to all participants. I express our deep gratitude to the management of Eldel Education Trust. A special word of thanks to our campus director, Dr. Savita Toro, and all principals, HODs, IQAC coordinators, and faculty colleagues for their active participation. We also thank IPSR Solutions Limited for their collaboration and technical support throughout this FDP. A warm appreciation to all our participants from various institutions across the country for joining us with such enthusiasm. Your engagement and responses make this FDP meaningful. Finally, sincere thanks to the entire organizing team and the moderator, Mr. Sigin, for ensuring the smooth and successful conduct of today's event. Thank you once again. Wishing everyone a fruitful continuation of the FDP. Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you, Ms. Priya, for that word of thanks and gist of learning. Our next session is going to be on Monday. That is going to be on mapping of outcomes, calculating of attainment and analytical reports, ICT tools for OBE. That is going to be taken by Dr. M.Tech. Our next session is going to be on Monday. Okay, so tomorrow we don't have a session, so please join in on Monday.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Suresh sir, do you have anything to add?
Hello.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining for today's session. We don't have a session tomorrow. Our next session is going to be on Monday. That's our 4th day's session. Please join in for that. That is going to be taken by Dr. M.Tech. The topics that are going to be covered are going to be mapping of outcomes, calculation of attainment and analytical reports, ICT tools for OBE. Okay, so these topics are going to be covered on Monday. All right. See you all then. Thank you for joining us today. Have a pleasant evening. Thank you all.
मदर देखी हैं
जय सगर बसी देखे कौन कहि दमु ना
हां हां माने मते गोदिरा कहली मु से आंसर मोर बसी करबी रो मेरा डी ये कहि दिंदा उस डिटेल रेस्पॉन्स करें